Hello everyone, my name is Masterstarman, and welcome to my new Let's Play. Today, I'm revisiting a blast from my past, quite literally. Nintendo presents... developed by Retro Studios. Metroid Prime. This is Metroid Prime Trilogy, but today we are only going to be looking at the first of the Metroid Prime Trilogy. I will at some point probably go back and play Prime 2 and Prime 3, but yeah. This was a game that came out in 2009. Limited copies were very, very limited when it first came out. It was only available for about 4 or 5 months. And then this collection was probably gone for another 5 years until it eventually got a Wii U digital re-release. It wasn't any sort of like enhancement or anything, it was just the Wii U, a Wii game digitally on the Wii U service. But if you're looking to play this game, just download that version for the time being. It's like 20 bucks and you can't go wrong with that. Anyways, we're not going to waste any time here, we're going to jump right into the first game here. So yeah, there are 3 difficulties here. You have to unlock the Hypermode difficulty, and you basically unlock that by beating the game. It doesn't matter which difficulty you're on, you can unlock Hypermode from that. But you can only pick Hypermode if you're starting from a clean, like if you're starting from a new game, which is really weird when you think about it, but yeah, it's not like a permanent upgrade thing. I'm actually going to be playing this on Hypermode, believe it or not. That's what I did my original Let's Play on years ago, and this is essentially the hard mode of the game. Do I 100% recommend doing this? I'd say for the other 2 Prime games, probably not, but for Prime 1, I've played this game so much that I really don't mind upping the difficulty for me personally. Unidentified distress beacon has been tracked to the space vessel aboard Talon 4. That familiar jingle all in hand, it's time to begin up Metroid Prime. So, the Wii version of Metroid Prime does change a couple of things from the original release. Most notably being able to aim your pointer around here. I will mention that there are a couple of settings that I do have enabled. You can go into the options menu to kind of change some things around in your settings here. Most notably, I have my controller sensitivity on advanced, and I have swapped jump and fire on. For some reason, in this game, the default option for jumping and firing is kind of a reverse of what it should be, in my opinion. They have jump on B and shoot on A. I just much prefer it on the opposite. I would much rather have jump on B and shoot on A, so I'm glad that's an option. And I have lock on free aim, which I'll get into in a moment here. You may have also noticed that on a New Game Plus file, which is technically what this is, it carries over what they call logbook entries. As you see, I have scan 98%. I will be going over all of the logbook scans in this Let's Play. I don't actually have a logbook 100% save file in this, but I'll be showing you where to go after all of the logbook scans, especially which ones are only available for like a limited time, like availability. So with all that explanation dump, let's get into this. Press and hold Z to lock onto targets. With lock on free aim, you can still aim around here. If you turn that option off, it'll just straight up lock on. That was something more useful in the GameCube version to kind of alleviate next set of force fields. Controls are offline. Center pillar to activate them. Move the cursor to the top of the zone and release the minus button to enter scan visor. If you hold down minus, it brings up a menu here. This one in the middle here is your combat visor. This is your scan visor. We'll be using this a lot throughout the Let's Play, so you'll want to get used to it. Normally, they will take a second or two to scan. It's not like a super long amount of time, but things do take a second to scan. You can scan most things. Some stuff will count for like a scan percentage and some stuff doesn't. It's kind of arbitrary what stuff does and what stuff doesn't count for scan percents, but I'll point out kind of more so what stuff will be important to count for that and what stuff doesn't here. And some stuff like random items and collectibles will be just normal. I might just go over without really explaining the scan, because sometimes you can get a bunch of chances to scan normal items. Anyways, this room here needs to be depressurized here, which is kind of a nice little touch there. To kind of go over a little bit more of our menus here that we see, up here we have our health meter here. This room here will kind of introduce us a little bit to combat here, including our first piece of data here. This is a space pirate. Cause of death caused by severe severing of the spinal cord. That's wonderful. And one of our first enemies, a parasite. Indigenous to Talon 4, a single parasite is harmless to larger life form. However, they tend to travel in large groups, swarming over potential prey. Such swarms can be dangerous. Not really dangerous enemies at all. They die in only like a couple of hits here. Yeah, you can shoot with the B button like I mentioned. This guy here, weak life signs detected. Imprints of a large bite marks can be seen on the exoskeleton. This guy here might try and get a shot off on you, but he shouldn't really. I know he got a shot off on me, but that's kind of just my fault here. You can get some more, like, scan logs of certain things here. Nothing too dramatic, I don't believe here. You can use your charge beam to destroy rubble in the wall here. Charge beam's a pretty nice tool you'll want to kind of keep in mind for most of the game here. And the charge beam can be used in combat to do a lot more damage to certain enemies, which is always very nice. If you head this way, step into the hologram to download the map. This is a map station. This is actually a scan that you will need here. At some point, anyway. I think you can just get this whenever. But if you step in here... You've downloaded the map for this area. Press 1 to access the map. When you're finished, press 1 to resume play. So, yeah. This is kind of a map station here. You can maneuver this by holding down the Z button and just moving it around, zooming in. It's pretty nice. Tells you names of rooms, tells you what beams you'll need to go through certain doors. Yeah, it's a pretty helpful little thing there. I don't believe... If you see a scan that's in orange, it's generally not really super important. It can just kind of give you a little bit of background exposition here. Okay, sorry about that. I was just kind of checking something. To go into your Morph Ball here, you can press the C button on the nunchuck. It's, I believe it's X on the GameCube controller to use the Morph Ball. Because, yeah, this game was originally a GameCube game, too, so... The GameCube controls are alright for this game, but they can be a little bit getting used to, I find. I think that generally I would rather the Wii Remote controls personally, just for overall. There are certain things I think that are better on the Wii version, but not a whole heck of a lot. This room here, we have a few more space pirates here. These ones, again, aren't really too difficult. You can usually take them down with one charge shot. Some other little things you can scan around here. Not a whole heck of a lot, but there is some just minor stuff you can scan around here. And yeah, I don't believe... There's one important missable scan you can miss in this area, and it's something that if you don't know this game, you probably would not know about, but I think it's in the next room, actually. Here we have a new enemy here, though. This is a... If I can scan it, a auto defense turret. Use missiles to break out her casing here. I don't know if that counted for a normal scan or not. I know I've already gotten the scan in this, but... Yeah, that is a normal enemy, but you do, unlike the parasites, you get a number of chances to fight those again. This here, I believe. New pirate data entry is being downloaded into your logbook. So I actually never got this on the save file. Space pirate data encrypted. Zebus has fallen. All ground personnel are presumed dead. Either killed by the hunter clad in metal or in the subsequent destruction of the underground facilities. Our research frigates Orpheon, Syracuse, and Vol Paragon were in orbit at 0 hour when they managed to retreat. Frigate Orpheon is now docked at Vortex Outpost. Orpheon's cargo appears to have a 100% survival rate. Metroids are healthy, but on restricted feeding schedules due to uncertain supply status. We are ready to begin research on the Metroids and other promising life forms. Security status remains at Code Blue. No sign of pursuit from the hunter. Yeah. There's little lore logbooks you'll find throughout the game, like that. I think this is the only one in this area, though, so in that case, then that's a good thing, though. You'll notice them based on if they have a red. Red generally means a more important scan than just, like, flavor text. Some interesting stuff you can find here, but yeah, nothing too dramatic here. If you head up here, though, find some more limping space pirates, and at the end of this, you will find a new enemy. This is a space pirate. If I can scan the right thing, seriously, game. Minimal injuries assessed. Use caution. Maximum firepower recommended. These guys can be kind of annoying to fight. It's doing quite a lot of damage to me because, again, this is the hard mode. I recommend using missiles here, which do kind of have a homing in lock-on feature, and there's also this guy here who can really be a tease if you're not prepared for him, like, say, that the pirate there just narrowly kills you, then yeah, he can definitely be a little bit obnoxious there. Another turret here. These things also can be kind of annoying. They're a little bit annoying as far as enemies go here. Anyways, we can ride this elevator down here. I won't be... drop my nunchuck here, which is causing me to move around here a lot. I won't be, like... This won't be the only time I'm bringing this up here, but man, I love how this game looks here. Like, this is still, to this day, like... Is it a little bit dated? Sure. But I don't care. For a 2002 game, this game looks freaking wonderful. So, if we scan that there, I have some other space pirates here, nothing too dramatic here. If we step in this thing here, it will just kind of open up on its own here. And I believe we have 2 more turrets here to deal with. Which, thankfully, turret AI is kind of on the stupid side, and they won't start shooting you until a little bit later on here. You can use Charge Beam to draw in pickups, as that thing does demonstrate. I was actually going to start mentioning that before the prompt came up here. This in here, this is a save station. Step in these to save your game and fully replenish your health. Very, very, very nice here. Alright. If you got the Parasite, that one pirate lore, and I believe that's it so far, then congrats, you have all the major noteworthy missable things. This game doesn't really have a whole lot of missable things, but this first area does have a few things, so I just want to make sure that those things are of note here. When you're all ready, let's head on through. Meet the Parasite Queen. Parasite Queen is your introduction boss fight. If you want to scan her, Parasite female, genetically enhanced by unknown means. A weak spot is being detected in this creature's mouth. Use your auto-targeting to acquire this new target. Scans indicate the presence of potent mutagen, origins unknown. Creature exhibits the ability to fire weapon-grade blasts of energy from its mouth, a trait not present in the standard Parasite genome. It appears the pirates have begun bioengineering program with considerable results. This fight is actually pretty easy, all things considered here. If you want a easier way of doing things, there is a little bit of a trick here. If you, basically, you can only fire like a certain amount of missiles at a time, but if you shoot while firing missiles, it kind of speeds up the refire time on how fast you can fire them. It's a very weird little exploit you can do with that. You can shoot her anywhere on the body here. She just takes longer. You want to just aim for the head here. But Parasite Queen's not that hard of a boss, really. Her attacks are pretty slow, easy to dodge. You can sidestep out of the way by tapping the... when you're locked on. If oh, Jesus! Okay, see, even that only did 70, or like, brought me down to 73. That was like 20 damage there. If you're barely in that, I'm on hard, and that's barely doing a thing to me as far as damage goes there. And that's it.
Evacuate immediately. Evacuate immediately.
Alright. It wouldn't be a Metroid game without an escape sequence. I will say, this first video did kind of go on a little bit longer than I anticipated, but it is a first video and there was a lot to go over. It's kind of funny, actually. I don't want to compare this too much to my old Let's Play of this game, because it is old. You can scan this to disable a turret that's here, but I didn't even show this part of the game in my old LP because I don't know, I guess I deleted the files or something. It was something really dumb anyway. Oh, go away. I don't see you there either, buddy. So yeah, I ended up just, like, I later went back, like, a good year and a half later and did, like, a quick free playthrough of this part of the game, just so I could show, like, what the escape sequence is like, because I didn't really even get a chance to show it. That's how bad that old Let's Play was, looking back, like, and why I wanted to redo this for the longest time. Like, there was parts where, like, For one thing, I didn't know as much about the game then as I do now. We do have a new enemy here. Actually, these are just parasites again. Never mind. Again, make sure you get these before we leave here, because this is like one of your only times to get this enemy. But you do get a fair number of chances to get the parasite, which is nice here. And they do drop some decent health here. We are technically on a timer, so just keep that in mind here. And this timer does go on a fair bit. The segment's kind of lengthy, but it's not really, like, you shouldn't worry about running out of time. It normally does take a good 2 to 3 to 4 minutes, usually, most of the time. I don't think blasting out with the charge shot is how that opens up. I think it's just, like, it just opens up whenever it feels like it, but yeah. And, oh, we do have turrets here. I thought this was parasites or something. Turrets, thankfully, are not the hardest thing in the world to take care of. I should mention, actually, in the GameCube version, you don't have, like, a free aim system like a normal third-person shooter or first-person shooter would. It's more tank controls, but with a Zelda-style lock-on, which is basically kind of what the lock-on is intended for. It's... how should I describe it here? It's kind of awkward, because basically, in the GameCube version, in order to free aim, you have to press and hold the R button, and that locks your movement in place, but then you can move around your arm cannon. The game's designed with it in mind, but it is a little bit of an awkward control scheme, mostly. I would say just honestly stick to the Wii version if you want more better controls, in my opinion. Seems like Ridley had a hand in this the entire time. Ridley is Samus's arch-nemesis and the main de facto villain of the Metroid series. We can disable another turret here, which is just up here. I didn't even realize there was a turret here, actually. Don't really need that at all, actually. Scan this. No matter what, you are forced to view that cutscene, and it is a weird cutscene. This cutscene's often considered, like, one of the weird points of this game, because now we don't have access to our missiles, Charge Beam, Morph Ball, missiles again, Grapple Beam. It's like, we just lose all our abilities except for Scan Visor, which, it's like, whatever, I guess. Can't go back the old way there. For some reason, the room has to depressurize again. I don't really know why. But yeah, we just lose all of our abilities. And we know our arch-nemesis is out there. Tracking on enemy target has been lost. Ground-based recon required. Begin landing sequence. Welcome to Talon Overworld. I would like to save, and next time, we will begin exploring a new, unknown world. Through thick rainstorms, we'll meet lots of unknown creatures. And we'll explore what Talon 4 has to offer. Join me back next time, because this is where one of my favorite games really starts to take shape. I'll see you guys for that then. Peace out.